That MyPillow doesn't have their box stores or any shopping channels any longer due to the cancel culture. Well, Mike Lindell is now passing along those savings directly to you. Right now, you can get the lowest price in the history of MyPillow for their classic standard MyPillow, regularly $69.98, now only $19.98 with promo code Dobbs. They also have queen-size pillows, regularly $79.98, now $20.
For the guests, make sure you stay about a fist away from the mic, otherwise it's not going to sound very loud, so just make sure you just get nice and close.
Sleepwear to beds, and my promo code Dobbs also works on mystore.com and frankspeech.com. Go to MyPillow.
I need a count to 10 from each of you, please.
977-9152 and use.
Okay, wait, whoa. Not together, separately.
Special offer on his standard MyPillow. That's mypillow.com, promo code Dobbs, or 1-800-977-9152. As media generated hysteria about the Omicron virus.
Have Lisa go again because I had to turn up her volume.
Reaches a fever pitch. America's two largest pharmacy chains say they're being
we're all set.
By customers demanding vaccine shots. Walgreens and CVS both say they're struggling to keep up with demand from walk-in customers. They recommend calling ahead for vaccination appointments. Ironically, Biden administration pressure for more.
I need a test from you, buddy.
Is exposing the public to bigger crowds and potential infection.
Loud and clear.
Later platform PayPal says its users on Black Friday saw a 400% increase over 2020 numbers. On Wall Street today, stocks fell. The Dow Jones Industrial's down 59 points. Please join me 3 times each weekday for my updates. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
It's Your Life is sponsored by James J.C. Cooley.
Life is a series of circles and cycles, phases and stages. These are your experiences that teach you the lessons of life. You can either ignore them or embrace them. Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. James is a motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the James Cooley Foundation. James is here to equip you to strive for greatness and to overcome adversity. It's time to get equipped today for the challenges of tomorrow. Now, here's the host of It's Your Life, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and this is one of those wow days, man.
Oh, we got multiple wows right there. Nice to see your face, JC.
Man, you know what, man? I get a chance to see that vein, man.
Oh, yeah, we're ready to go and get excited, do some live radio.
Oh, man. You know,
nothing better than you in studio, my friend.
Man, I miss being here, man. So I'm glad to be back in town. My beautiful wife and my co-host, Michelle Cooley, decided that she's not going to come down with us this time, but she's here. Are you there, Michelle?
I am here, and it's cold here.
Wow. It's, I tell you, San Diego is pretty chilly right now as well. But you know, it kind of warmed up a little bit in Temecula this morning when me and my boys took our hike. You know, so, you know, it's absolutely wonderful being back in Temecula. And also, we're here. My oldest son, James III, just flew in from Atlanta yesterday. And, of course, you know, Josh is here getting ready to go in the military. He got about 3.5 weeks. And I get a chance to actually see my good friend, Noah Dingley.
It's always good to see your face. You know, we do the show on a nightly basis. We talk, we call, but there's nothing better than this, man.
Yeah, man, this is absolutely fantastic. And Noah, I tell you, the 2 guests that I have in studio today are absolutely incredible people, man. You know, love them to death. You know, met Stu. I call him Stu Lou. You know, James Stewart. Met him when we first got to Temecula, and I met him like I met I meet a lot of folks right outside the steam room at the 24-Hour Fitness, and it's an absolute pleasure having him and his beautiful wife Lisa on the show today. You talking about giving? You talking about hearts of gold? Man, I don't think it'd get any better than these 2 right here, man.
Well, then I can't wait to find out about them because that's just kind of one of the cornerstones of the show, JC. It's about love. It's about giving. It's about understanding. And so sounds like these two people are top notch and they have a lot of character.
Man, I want to get started immediately because, I don't think we got enough time in 1 hour to get all the information that we need from these two great people. So our listening audience, before I even get started, if you want to be part of this great conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. Michelle, can you please tell our listening audience the title of today's show and the purpose as well?
The title of today's show is a sit-down discussion with Temecula Mayor James Stewart. And the purpose of the show tonight is getting to know the background of our Temecula Mayor, James Stewart, to discuss with him and his wife their involvement in servicing the community and also mission trips, to discuss the history of the city of Temecula, California, and his role as the mayor, and talk about his involvement in Rotary and being a mentor to the youth.
Wow. I tell you, this man right here, and by the way, I want everybody to know, him and this lovely bride here have been married for 41 years. 41 years, and they still look like kids today. I tell you, Michelle, why don't you introduce our great guest to our listening audience?
Yes. Mayor James Stewart moved to Temecula in 1991 with his wife and 3 children from Oswego, Illinois. He opened his first Stu's Barbershop in California in Marietta in 1991 and has opened 7 more since then. He has attended Sunridge Community Church since 1993 and has been involved in many areas of service there. Stu has taken mission trips all over the world and has served others in many ways, including working as a dentist in Haiti, pulling teeth, and conducting eyeglass clinics in Ethiopia. His wife, Lisa, has been on over 40 mission trips, many of them to Nepal, where she has changed many lives. Rotary has been a very important aspect of Stu's life. As a mentor for Great Oak High School Interact Club, his goal is to have kids think and do things outside of their world. Stu's tenure on the board of directors of Rancho California Water District was a valuable experience as it's prepared him for dealing with infrastructure projects, labor contracts, and the budget process. He served as executive vice president in 2015. While at RCWD, Stu was instrumental in persuading the board to approve a project that saved the district more than $20 million. Stu and Lisa have been married for 41 years, as James has mentioned. They raised 3 children and 7 grandchildren here in Temecula. They lived on the south end of town for 17 years and moved to Meadowview 11 years ago. He has seen a lot of change in the last 28 years and is looking forward to keeping the quality of life here in Temecula at the highest level possible. The James Cooley Show welcomes James Stewart and his wonderful wife, Lisa.
I want to welcome both of you guys to the show. It's Stu, I've been dreaming about this for a while.
I know that.
Hey, Stu, let's start off with you, man. Can you tell our listening audience a little bit about you growing up in Illinois and just how you got started and also how you met this young lady right here?
Well, like you said, I spent the first 30 years of my life in Illinois, which I tell everybody I'm a native Californian. I was just born in the wrong state. And because this is the climate, everything that is California is me. And so that's something that I absolutely love about California. Really, my high school years were very interesting in the fact that I'm dyslexic. So I looked for every opportunity I could to leave school. So I literally, my junior and senior year, I spent about 3 hours in school every day. But in the times I wasn't in school, I built 2 houses. I went to barber school. I worked at McDonald's from 6 until midnight every day and then started all over again. So I'm a wee bit of a workaholic and love every second of it.
You're more than a wee bit of
Yes, he is.
Right?
So Lisa, real quick, I think we got 2 minutes. Can you 3? Okay, we got a little bit more time. Lisa, can you tell our listeners a little bit about you? And since he didn't mention how you met this young lady, can you
It all started back in barber school. My sister went to barber school to get her hair cut, just to get her hair cut, because it was only $4. She fell in love with a barber that was working there. So she'd go in all the time, get her hair cut. She decided to join that barber school so she could kind of be closer to this young man. And she would come home and just tell all these stories about this guy named Stu and all the funny things he did. And we would laugh at the dinner table and talk about this guy, Stu. I told her, man, you got to hook me up with this guy. And just so happens that we were double dating on a one of those dances at high school, but I went with another guy and he went with some other girl, and that's actually how we met face to face. So it wasn't until my second year of college that we started dating, and that was it. We had dated for a couple of months, and all right, let's get married. And it was about a year and a half later, and we did, and what a great decision I had made. So that was 41 years ago.
41 years ago. Hey, Stu. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, you hit the jackpot.
Right?
And, 3 kids and 7 grandkids.
Yeah.
I bet that's a whole lot of fun.
Oh, that would be an understatement.
Right.
So I tell you what we're going to do before I ask another question. We're going to take a station break because I don't want to get off into a question where we're not going to be able to finish that one. So I tell you, listen, audience, if you want to be part of this great conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. I'm James Cooley. We'll be back shortly with Stu and his beautiful bride shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Are you a veteran over the age of 65, or were you married to a veteran over the age of 65? If so, we want to make sure you're getting all the VA benefits you deserve. Veterans Advocacy Associates is a nonprofit organization whose sole goal is to help veterans get the benefits they've earned and deserve. They've helped thousands of veterans and their surviving spouses understand and receive VA benefits. Call them even if you have previously been denied. Call 951-296-6755 or visit myvaa.org. That's myvaa.org.
Hi, I'm James Cooley, host of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And in the new audio version of my book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, you can join me as I share my true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of my book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet on Amazon and wherever audio books are sold.
The J.C. Cooley Foundation is a nonprofit organization that was started in October of 2014. The J.C. Cooley Foundation continues to strive to expand its programs and offerings to the youth, young adults, and citizens of our great communities nationwide and overseas. We hope that you'll be able to take part in one or more of the many exciting events that we are offering this year and experience firsthand the pride we take in supporting our cause. It's our mission to equip the youth of today for the challenges of tomorrow, and we rely heavily on the generosity of individuals and business owners for support. Without the assistance of community-minded individuals just like you, we wouldn't be able to serve our youth each year. We ask that you make a commitment to support our annual appeal by making a cash donation. This year's goal is $50,000. Your generosity will assist us in making a difference in the lives of the youth in our community. You can give online at CooleyFoundation.org. Remember that every donation makes a difference regardless of size. The J.C. Cooley Foundation thanks you in advance for your contribution.
Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, the true life coming of age story by James J.C. Cooley. Using humor, wit, and engaging storytelling, James paints a picture about his arrival in a rural deep south town and realization that life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon.
Back in 1 minute, James.
Books are sold.
I heard the Federal Reserve may raise interest rates.
Yes, in fact, mortgage rates have already started going up on the rumors.
Like I told you, the food excellent ratio depends on how sleepy I am, and I really want to take a nap right now.
And we also took thousands out in cash to use.
Oh yeah, so you let me know when, and I will be there.
Waiter, check please.
I'm going to call.
And the more meals I taste, the more I know for a fact why it's impossible for you to take second place.
In a 30-year fixed refi, today's 2.5% rate, 2.731 APR. That's 8332.
Yeah, the sauce that was on the chicken was top notch. Top notch.
Licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval for qualified borrowers. Call 833-303-2161 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
Call owning at 8332 owning.
You know, Knott's does stuff like that right.
That's 8332 owning or owning.com.
Streaming now at theanswersandiego.com and odyssey.com.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you, Noah, having fun. I mean, immediately out the gate with these two great guests that we have in studio with us today. You know, we got, I call him the mayor, James Stewart, you know, and his beautiful wife, Lisa. You know, so it's, again, an absolute pleasure having you guys on the show. Listen, audience, if you want to be part of this great conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170.
Stu, after graduating high school, did you continue your education through college, or did you go another route? And if so, why?
So basically, when I finished high school, it was all I could do to finish high school. And but then I met this young lady to my left, and I was already cutting hair in the barber industry for about a year, and I was kind of disillusioned a little bit. So I thought, maybe I should go back to college. So I put in my application to go to Illinois State. In the meantime, I met Lisa. So I switched to her college. I spent one semester studying Lisa, and then I basically went back to cutting hair because I realized I was actually making way more money cutting hair than all my friends were. I would work 1 day a week and make more than they were making an entire week slaving after school. So that's when I thought, this might be a pretty good gig after all.
Wow. Did you always know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur, Stu? I mean, I'm hearing about all these barbershops that you own. Did that ever hit your mind when you were growing up?
Yes. No, I was an entrepreneur from the age of about 3. Literally, I was having Kool-Aid sales till that was not enough money. Then I got a paper route, and then I was mowing grass for money. I bought my first lawnmower at the age of, I think, 10. And then my dad helped me rebuild the carburetor, and away I went. And then I also, let me think. I did 3 paper routes at one time. And then when I got into high school, and finally got my driver's license, I started working at McDonald's, worked there for 2 years. But that just kind of intrigued me to work for somebody else for a change. And then when I got my barber's license, I worked for someone else for about 5 years. And then I realized either I'm going to open my own shop or I'm going to go do something else entirely. And so that's when I thought, you know what? I looked for a location, found it, secured it, and I was only 22 at the time. So I was pretty young even, for then. I bought my first house when I was 20. So, I mean, before I was even 21. So it was, being fiscally responsible has always been my go-to. I'm not a spendthrift. In fact, the opposite was probably true, especially at that point. I was very conservative with my money, and I made a lot of really good decisions financially, so that put us in a very good spot from the very beginning. So yeah, entrepreneurship is definitely in my brain constantly.
Stu, producer Noah here. I'm just curious because you said at the beginning of the show that you're pretty much everything California. How'd you end up here?
Well, my uncle used to live in San Bernardino, so I kind of grew up coming out here in the 60s and early 70s. We did the Route 66 trek from Illinois to San Bernardino, which ironically, it's both ends of the Route 66. It literally started in Chicago, ended in San Bernardino. So I did that about 3 or 4 times growing up, probably 4 or 5 actually. And so when I was 29, I literally just felt like God told me, move to California. And so at that time, I already had the first Stews open for 8 years. It was killing it. I was probably the busiest barbershop in my whole area. And so I basically sold it, sold the house, moved everything out here. And if you saw the stuff I brought out here, it would kind of blow your mind that I actually decided to move that particular stuff out here. I mean, if you know my barbershops, it's very full of a lot of eclectic stuff. And it looks more like a museum than a barbershop. And so I brought an entire railroad signal with me. And when I say entire, one of those big crosses with the red flashing lights, one of those with me in a truck from Illinois.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, I love anything to do with trains, so that already is impressive to me.
Yeah.
So did you always kind of know that maybe out west was where you wanted to end up, or was this something that kind of just progressed as you got into your early 20s?
Yeah, I always kind of had a sense I wanted to go to California, but it was kind of almost like a lightning bolt at that moment. I mean, literally, I woke up one morning and I said, I'm going to book a flight to California and see where I can put a barbershop. And so I used my uncle as a base of operations, and he had a home in Oceanside. So I was kind of looking in areas between there and Oceanside. And one of my friends actually moved to Escondido. So Escondido kind of became an also possible area, but they turned me on to Temecula. My friends in Escondido said, hey, you need to check out this new community called Temecula.
Yeah, when you first moved there, now it's just booming, but it was really a hidden gem.
It was about 27,000 people when we moved here. And in 91 is actually the beginning of that first major recession that hit, it was one of the recessions that hit, and it slowed everything down, and literally Temecula came to a screeching halt for probably 4 or 5 years.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, you and Lisa have been involved in community service or mission trips, a lot of great things. Can you tell our listening audience, for those that do not know what that means, a little bit about that? Let's start with you, Lisa.
All right. Well, I got to say, I became a Christian at 7 years old, got involved in serving the church since I was 10 years old, and did everything imaginable, got involved in leadership there and stuff, and really never, ever thought about mission trips. Never thought about going outside of my own community. And my sister was a missionary in Brazil. She was there for 20 years, and there wasn't a day that went by that I didn't thank the Lord that he had called her into the mission field. That was not something I ever thought to do. And it wasn't until about 1999, a group from our church had come back from Haiti. They had gone on a short-term mission trip to Haiti. They're standing up on the stage and they're talking. These are friends of mine, but their faces looked so different as they're talking about going on this week-long mission trip and the people that they shared Jesus with. And they've got tears coming down their face. And I sat in this little metal chair at that church, and I looked at them, and I told the Lord, I said, I have served you all my life. That time, I was in my late 20s or whatever, late 30s. I served you all my life, but my face doesn't look like their face. And they just have this glow about them, and you could just tell the impact that this one trip had made on their lives. So I sat there and I told Jesus, I said, you do whatever it takes to make my face look like that. And it was less than a year later, and I found myself on my very first short-term mission trip. And when I was there, I had gone to Haiti also. And when I was there, the words came out of my mouth, I was created for this. and I have been in it ever since. Fell in love with mission work, which is total miracle.
Wow. Stu, what are your thoughts on mission trip?
Well, I basically got hooked on mission trips through her. So she would come back, and I was more intrigued because we started doing a lot of like medical mission trips and helps mission trips, and so I got very intrigued with that, and that's what when I went to Haiti, I actually worked as a dentist. And so the dentist I was working with showed me how to pull teeth. And so I got my own dentist chair. And
nothing surprises me with this man, I just have to say. When he came home and told me, I have pulled all these teeth, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
So I pulled 22 teeth in Haiti that year. And then I went on a couple other mission trips. One of them, it was an eye clinic in Ethiopia, and so I got to do eyeglasses in Ethiopia, and there was another trip I did something. Well, I worked as a PA also in Haiti, so I was literally able to communicate just enough because they speak Creole there, and so my translator taught me a few phrases that I could communicate, and so I would find out what they were complaining about, and then I'd go to the doctor, and the doctor would say, okay, give them this, prescribe them this. And that's what I did. So, and after a while, the doctor just said, if they complain about this, just prescribe them this. You don't have to keep coming back in here. And so it was a great time.
Wow. This is so fascinating. And all the different hats that we learn to do in good faith to help others, and there is no better feeling, just like what you were saying, Lisa, that change of the face and when just giving a smile and helping others out. But we got to take a station break, but we're going to come back, and we're going to pick up with the Stewarts with some more great discussions. And if you want to be part of this conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's Your Life. I'm James Cool. We'll be back shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
There is much truth.
I think so.
That ain't over yet. As all of us journey.
What order do you want to do, though?
Just like I have. Hi, I'm James Cooley, host of the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. And
you want me to tell Michelle that order?
My book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet. You can join me as I share my true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. This is a must listen to for anyone who think they're stuck in life or need to understand that their current situation is not their final destination. Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet is the unfiltered truth to provide hope for the future by challenging you to refuse to become a victim of life's circumstance and dare to be an overcomer, because a bigger, better, and a more impactful life awaits you. Get the new audio version of my book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet on Amazon and wherever audiobooks are sold.
The J.C. Cooley Foundation continues to strive to expand its programs and offerings to the youth, young adults, and citizens of our great communities nationwide and overseas. It's our mission to equip the youth of today for the challenges of tomorrow. We ask that you make a commitment to support our annual appeal by making a cash donation. Your generosity will assist us in making a difference in the lives of the youth in our community. You can give online at CooleyFoundation.org. The J.C. Cooley Foundation thanks you in advance for your contribution.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Your home mortgage could be the key to your financial security. but you need expert guidance to know how to use it, like Deborah McNaughton on the Money Manager program.
There are secrets out there. If you have a zero-cost closing cost loan, your interest rate's going to be a little bit higher.
That's just one of hundreds of money-saving insights from credit and mortgage expert Deborah McNaughton. Listen to The Money Manager every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. here on The Answer San Diego.
Your power-chewing dog runs through toys like they're going out of style. That's because weak toys aren't their style. They need something tougher. Your monthly subscription from Bully Make is packed with ultra-durable toys and healthy treats made here in the USA. Tested by tough chewers and delivered every 30 days. All backed with a satisfaction and durability guarantee. Try your first box at 40% off. Go to bullymake.com/radio now.
Bully Make! Tougher toys for tougher play.
FM 96.1 North County.
And AM 1170 San Diego. The Answer.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I sit back and I say I'm tickled pink. I am. I mean, that last segment was Stewart telling me that he was a dentist, ophthalmologist, and a PA, and pulling teeth. That's not. But I tell you, in the name of humanity, we have to learn a lot of different things. And Noah, I don't think anything wrong with being the jack of all trades as long as you master one.
Right.
So and obviously Stu have mastered a lot of them. I've been knowing this young man, just like I said, about 11 years. Him and his beautiful bride, Lisa, and just an absolute pleasure just being around and being in their company. And I tell you what, listeners, if you want to be part of this great conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170.
Stu, do you guys have any plans for perhaps an upcoming mission trip? Because I know you guys like to stay heavily involved. You've told us a little bit about so far the things that you like to do and, bringing hope to people around the globe. What's on the table next for you guys?
Unfortunately, COVID has kind of put a lot of that on hold because even if we could get into a particular country, trying to get back out may be difficult.
It's very true.
So Lisa actually has gotten into another field, and she's a chaplain. She's actually a ordained chaplain. So maybe she could give a little. Her mission trips have basically been inverted. So now she's doing stuff within the United States versus looking out.
Yeah, go ahead. I'd like to you share a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah, like Stu said, right now international travel is just too difficult. I take teams from anywhere from 6 to 20, 25 people, and they all have to raise money. And it takes 6 months to plan for a trip and to execute that trip. And because we don't know if we can go from point A to point D and back again, we're just kind of on hold. And so, the break was kind of nice, actually. I run 3-4 trips every year. It's a lot of work. It just revolves. And honestly, sometimes when you're serving the Lord, you don't spend enough time with him. And someone once said our greatest competitor to our intimacy with Christ is our service for him. And I found that really to be true. And so the break was nice. And, it's just a come back to Jesus kind of thing. And I just loved it. And then a mentor of mine mentioned that he was a chaplain for Billy Graham Rapid Response Team. And at first I kind of blew it off. And then now I got my path. I know what I'm doing. This is what the Lord has called me to do. And then COVID kind of hit, and he looked at me again, pointed his finger right in my face and said, Lisa, you need to do this. And so I went into training, became a Billy Graham Rapid Response Team chaplain. But that is really while you're deployed for a week. You're a chaplain there for a week under the Billy Graham Association. But what am I doing at home? And I remember sitting in my office and I told the Lord, I said, you have given me great gifts. I knew who I am. I know what my identity. I know what I'm good at, what I'm not. It all has come from him. And I just told Lord, I'm just feeling underutilized. And so I just felt like he was saying, you take this Billy Graham training that you have and you expound on it. And so I just started taking critical stress management courses, and I went through a whole chaplaincy program and became an ordained chaplain, something I never foresaw that would be part of my life. But then I was like, okay, well, now what do I do with this? But you know, that kind of saying, bloom where you planted. I am in Temecula and I love my city, and I've always done more service work outside of the country, actually, rather than inside. And so I had already been volunteering for a large organization called Community Mission of Hope, and I had worked in their warehouse. They are what it says, a mission of hope. They take care of practical needs like housing and food. I had worked in the warehouse packing boxes and everything for well over a year. And then when I became ordained as a chaplain, I contacted them, walked in and said, hey, would you guys need a chaplain? Because the customers, the clients, they call them clients, the clients that are part of this ministry have all gone through some sort of crisis. They've lost their homes, they lost their jobs, they lost their families, they've lost so many different things. So I asked, could you use a chaplain? And they were just dumbfounded. They had tears in their eyes, and they said, oh my gosh, we have been praying for such a thing for so long. And I said, well, I have no idea what this looks like, but let me be this for you, And so we started, and it has been so incredibly fulfilling to me, so fulfilling to me. I feel like I am on mission every single week. I have fallen in love with these people that have so many hurts. The list would be so long, so many different things going on in their lives, and they just need someone to just listen to their stories, I've come to know their names. I've just come to know their incidences and what they need. And I have just fallen in love with being a chaplain. It is a ministry of presence, first and foremost, and just a ministry of prayer. And just being with these people has just been outstanding. So that's what I'm doing now. I don't know where the Lord will take this, but I realized quickly on, because they have clients Monday through Friday that drive up in this line, and there's lines and lines of cars, and I'm just one person. So I just asked the Lord, bring me some more. We need more people praying. We need more chaplains. So I built a smaller team, and I'm still looking. If anybody's out there, I am still looking for a Monday prayer. And let me tell you, you will be blessed beyond measure.
And Lisa, that's amazing, because not only can you help people, internationally too, but like you just said, you can help people here right at home too, where the need is just as great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes.
I can just feel the energy coming from you, and I'm just looking at your face, and I just see it on there. So you did get your wish. You got that look.
I did. No question. The Lord made my face to look like that.
Oh, yeah.
Praise the Lord.
I want to change it a little bit, because I have been working with you the last 5 years. We teamed up and we give scholarships away. Mm-hmm. The J.C. Cooley Stewart Barbershop scholarship. But it was more than just a scholarship. You started a couple of trade programs in the high schools and also out in the communities where you're helping these young kids, I say high school or some young adults, kind of get their lives back in order. And everybody, college is not cut out for everybody. And you identified that, and that's one of the messages that you talk about. Mm-hmm. Can you tell our listening audience a little bit about the Rotary, the Interact program, and a lot of these kids that we work with?
Sure. So I got into Rotary in 2005, and then about 2010 or 11, I became the Interact sponsor for the Great Oak High School. And so I would show up one time a week and basically mentor a group of kids. Ironically, it ended up being a lot of boys, just because I'm a boy, I guess. And so it was just kind of getting them to think outside their box and getting them to be more involved in the community. and give them an example of someone who didn't necessarily go the college route but can still be successful. And then when I got elected to city council in 2016, one of the very first things I did was meet with a community development guy and explained him my situation in high school, how I went to this class called building trades and how I build houses. And so he immediately thought, hey, we should have a program like that in the city. So we did. We created a program where anybody from the age of 18 to 99 could take this course. They're going to get their OSHA certificate. They get the blueprint training, which that's something most contractors I talk to, people don't have. They can't read a blueprint. They might know how to, cut things up and nail it together, but they don't know how to read it. So we give these kids the skills necessary to make them a good employee to a contractor. And me being in the barber business, I cut a lot of contractors' hair, and I hear all the frustration that comes from them about the workforce out there. So workforce development is kind of like a passion of mine. And even in the manufacturing world, I'm on the Manufacturers Council for the city of Temecula. And so I've been working with them to try to get qualified people to understand that there are great jobs in Temecula. They don't have to drive to San Diego or LA or outside of our region.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Stu,
2.5.
Can you tell us, and before, I know we have to get to break pretty soon, you are currently the mayor of Temecula, California, and can you kind of start telling our listeners the history of Temecula, California?
Yes. Well, I'm not the mayor, but they do say if you were a mayor of Temecula, you're always a mayor of Temecula. So in all, I'm still the mayor. So yeah, the history of Temecula is very interesting because, you think of Old West towns. Temecula is a legit Old West town. It was part of the Southern Immigrant Trail. So if you were going to immigrate from the East Coast and you took the southern route, you'd go through Yuma, Arizona, you'd end up in Temecula, and Temecula was literally a dead end. You either went north to Los Angeles or south to San Diego. So Temecula got its first post office in 1859, and that's why in Temecula it says established in 1859. By getting the U.S. government to recognize your town with a post office, that's the point of establishment. So the Pechanga Indians have been basically in our valley they've got history that's 10,000 years old. So it's a very long and historic community. The city of Temecula itself is kind of interesting in the fact that it was purchased. There were 64,000 acres was purchased by the Vail family in 1904, and they created one of the largest cattle ranches in the United States. And then in 1964, the Kaiser Development Corporation came in and bought all 64,000 acres, and what we know as the wine country. And should I?
Yeah, I tell you what, we're going to hold that thought. Right. We got to take a station break because I'm very interested in, and I listen to audience, in the history of Temecula. So I tell you want to be part of the conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. I'm James Cole. We're back shortly.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley. The J.C. Cooley Foundation is a nonprofit organization that was started in October of 2014. The J.C. Cooley Foundation continues to strive to expand its programs and offerings to the youth, young adults, and citizens.
You want me to just have her restate the question?
And overseas. We hope that you'll be able to take part in one or more
So have her restate. He finishes. She asks one more,
and experience firsthand the pride we take in supporting our cause. It's our mission to equip the youth of today for the challenges of tomorrow, and we rely heavily on the generosity community of individuals and business owners for support. Without the assistance of community-minded individuals just like you, we wouldn't be able to serve our youth each year. We ask that you make a commitment to support our annual appeal by making a cash donation. This year's goal is $50,000. Your generosity will assist us in making a difference in the lives of the youth in our community. You can give online at CooleyFoundation.org. Remember that every donation makes a difference regardless of size. The J.C. Cooley Foundation thanks you in advance for your contribution.
Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet. The true life coming of age story by James J.C. Cooley. Using humor, wit, and engaging storytelling, James paints a picture about his arrival in a rural deep south town and realization that life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. NMLS ID 128231. Equal housing lender. Not licensed in all states, including New York. Offer based on loans over $250,000. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions.
With the holidays right around the corner, would a little extra cash come in handy? Instead of loading up those high-interest credit cards, get the cash you need the smart way. With home values at all-time highs and interest rates still low, Cash Call Mortgage can help you get the cash you need from your home's equity and get a low interest rate at the same time. How does a cash-out refinance mortgage and a rate and APR in the twos sound? We'll even cover the title, escrow, and appraisal fees. Need extra holiday cash? Want to pay off high-interest debt? Or just put money away for a rainy day? Then a cash-out refi from Cash Call Mortgage is the perfect solution. For a free quote to see if you qualify, go to cashcallmortgage.com or call us today. Call 800-931-6651. That's 800-931-6651. 800-931-6651.
The Answer San Diego, streaming now on iHeart.com and Odyssey.com.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and we got these two amazing guests that are educating us and our listening audience. Right now, we're talking about Temecula, and when we start talking about Temecula, I looked at Stewart, his eyes just bugged. The excitement is there. I mean, this guy is the history buff, knows everything about Temecula. And I tell you, if you have any questions to ask these two great guests, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170.
Stu, can you continue telling our listening audience about the history of Temecula, California?
Absolutely. So in 1964, the Kaiser Development Corporation bought the 64,000 acres from the Vail family and basically master planned out the entire region. And when I say region, the city of Temecula is probably only 40,000 of those 64,000. The whole wine country is all part of that 64,000 acres that the Kaiser Development Corporation actually laid out. And so the city of Temecula that's why when people come into Temecula, they're so impressed with it, is because it was so well laid out and planned out. And a lot of other cities around did not have that extra layer of brain power that basically created such a great city. And so in 1989, the citizens of Temecula were given the opportunity to either name our new city Rancho California, which was the name of the Kaiser Development Corporation development, or the historic Temecula. And by 79%, they took the historic name of Temecula. And to me, it was a no-brainer because Temecula really does. And the name Temecula is there's like two different versions of what the name means. And there's the Spanish version, sun goes through the mist. I should have pulled it up on my phone.
Sun shines through the mist.
Sun shines through the mist is the Spanish version. And then the Native American one is Place of the Sun or something like that. I think it is Place of the Sun. So, it's just got too many meanings to dump it for a development name, So it was too valuable to our citizens.
Wow. Stu, can you tell us what you love? What do you love about the city of Temecula? You and Lisa, what do you both love about it?
Well, when we moved here in 1991, so that was almost 32 years ago. We literally fell in love with the fact that it was such a small, quaint little town. And, the Old Town District was this quaint little town with antique stores. And it just, even though it got bigger and bigger and bigger, it still felt like a small town. We still talk about it. We're a town now of 115,000 people. And most people who come to our city feel that same small town feel. That is what makes Temecula special, is you've got all the amenities of a big town. We got the wine country, that's a $1.3 billion industry. We've got the casino, which is another, $400,000 or $500,000 a year facility. So we've got so much going for us that people from all over the country come to vacation in Temecula. And so that's the really cool part about living in Temecula. It's kind of like living in Hawaii. It's like, why would you ever want to leave?
And Stu, speaking of people coming and vacationing in Temecula, and I have family actually there, and I go as often as I can. It's just a great place. What is the city doing to plan for the Christmas holiday? Maybe there are some things coming up that'll be extra inviting.
Right. So you just missed the Santa's Electric Light Parade, which was last Friday, which that's kind of our signature really cool thing that we do. It's kind of like we light up all the cars and floats, and that's a fantastic thing. But December 18th at the Ronald Reagan Sports Park, we're doing basically a 4th of July for Christmas. So we're going to have bands coming in, doing performances all over. We're encouraging people to come and, set up picnics and, do the whole 4th of July thing. But it's all Christmas theme. And then at I don't know what time that's going to go off, but we're doing a fireworks display. So just like the 4th of July, it's going to be a fantastic fireworks display. We also, right in front of City Hall, we have ice skating rink. That's going to go on all the way to like January 6th. And just a lot of if you walk through Old Town, you'll get the Christmas feel for sure.
Wow. Temecula is the best kept secret on the West Coast, I believe. And that's why we live in Texas, but we live in Temecula as well. Can't give it up.
No.
Just can't give it up. We're coming down to the last 2 minutes of the show. Stu, Lisa, I have to do something to throw you guys off a little bit. So real quickly, 30 seconds or less, I'm going to ask both of you guys. What does the word, with you first, Lisa, what does the word success mean to you?
Success.
Yeah.
Success is doing all that God has created you to do. That's what I feel is success. We've all been given gifts and talents and abilities and resources, whatever the Lord has put in our hands. If we can use those to the best of our ability, that's success.
What about you, Stu?
Success, I would say, is enjoying what you have to the fullest, and don't keep striving for something you may never get and miss out on what's right in front of you.
Wow. I tell you, for our listening audience that's listening to this great couple, if they wanted to reach out and get in touch with you guys, especially the ministry portion of this, Lisa, Stu, can you tell our listening audience real quickly how they can get in touch with you?
Well, for me personally, I have a Facebook page, if you're a Facebook person, called Temecula Stew. And if you enjoy history, especially the history of our region, there's another Facebook page called Temecula Fun Facts, People, Places, and Things. So those are my two pages that I get out there.
What about you, Lisa?
For me, I also have a nonprofit organization called For the Cause. And so you can contact me at lstewart.ftc@gmail.com.
Wow, this has been an amazing interview. And I want to thank both of you guys for taking the time to come on the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. We got to do this again. I mean,
Yes, we
this
do.
is so fun. We got to
Thank
do it
you.
again. I'd like to thank my great co-host, Michelle Cooler, who's back in Texas. I'll be home soon, baby. I'd like to thank my great producer, Noah Dingley. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our listening audience for taking time to tune into the James Cooley Show nightly. I tell you, we're always looking for sponsors so we can continue to bring this great message to you. Also bring great guests like we have tonight. And just like Lisa had mentioned to you, she talked about your path or her path. Each and every last one of us, we have a path. And we have to follow that path and just open up your heart, open up your mind, open up your soul. Follow your path. You got gifts, talents, and skills. So I tell you, thank you guys so much. It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's Your Life.
Thanks for joining us for It's Your Life with James Cooley. To learn more about James, how you can support the show, or become a guest, visit CooleyFoundation.org. Join James weekdays at this same time for more motivation and inspiration to help you become equipped today for the challenges of tomorrow. This has been The James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, where you learn how to dream big, think big, and be big at everything that you do.
It's Your Life is sponsored by James J.C. Cooley.
It's said that if you don't like the weather, just wait a few minutes and it'll change. Well, the weather isn't the only thing changing. According to our latest research, local business owners today are saying it's getting harder to sustain their business than it was just a few months ago. They also told us that targeting the right audience with their advertising messages is more important than ever. At Salem Surround, our team of local in-market experts take that seriously. We utilize the latest research in marketing technology to deliver media plans that will exceed your expectations. Let Salem Surround show you how we can solve for your marketing challenges by bringing nationwide resources while delivering Main Street solutions. Salem Surround is here to help you through the constant changes. We promise we'll help your business stay ahead of the changing weather.
Get started now at surroundsandiego.com and let's navigate the changing business climate together. Visit surroundsandiego.com. That's surroundsandiego.com.
KCBQ San Diego, K241CT Oceanside, FM 96.1 North County, and AM 1170 San Diego. The Answer.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Ron DeRockstra. The Cold War ended 30 years ago this month, but one unresolved issue, how closely Ukraine, a former Soviet republic, can ally with the West, is now creating some of the deepest U.S.-Russian tensions in years. National security writer Robert Burns reports Vladimir Putin and Russia are echoing decades-long complaints about NATO.
They've been complaining for really since the end of the Cold War that NATO is not to be trusted and that NATO should not be moving eastward toward Russian borders by bringing in new members or by deploying its troops in places like Ukraine.
The dispute over Ukraine's status will be at the center of Putin's video meeting tomorrow with President Biden, whose administration says an extensive Russian military buildup near Ukraine points to a potential invasion, something Russia denies. The Justice Department is suing Texas over its new redistricting map, saying the plans discriminate against minority voters, particularly Latinos, who have fueled the state's population boom. The lawsuit claims the Republican-controlled state violated part of the Voting Rights Act in drawing new district boundaries for its congressional delegation and state legislature. A synagogue rebuilding after a mass killing gets a gift.
The state of Pennsylvania has awarded $6.6 million for the redevelopment of Pittsburgh's Tree of Life Synagogue. It's where a gunman killed 11 people in 2018 in the nation's deadliest attack on Jews. The defendant in the synagogue massacre awaits trial. Prosecutors are seeking a death sentence for 48-year-old Robert Bowers, who has pleaded not guilty. The governor's administration says the funding will help transform the site of the worst anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history into a new place of hope, remembrance, and education. I'm Walter Ratliff.
Syria's military says Israeli warplanes fired missiles on the port of the coastal city of Latakia, causing fire without inflicting any human losses. More news at townhall.com.
The holidays mean time with friends and family, and more than likely entertaining at home. So before you invite all your guests over, make sure you're mold-free by calling Ram Water and Mold Restoration for a no-obligation inspection. Mold spores can lead to several respiratory problems and often go unnoticed. Ram has licensed technicians that will identify, treat, and eliminate all forms of mold, so you can entertain stress-free. Just Google Ram with 2 M's, Water and Mold Restoration, and stop worrying today.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the CEO